back yet again to repair the door switches on this microwave. This time, well, it blew the breaker again, and when I reset the breaker, the power came back on, but as soon as I open the door, it just blows the breaker again. So, yep, we're going to look at the switches once again, and we'll see where it takes us this time. This is about a year after the last repair that I did. The switches lasted about a year. And I know I promised you guys a follow-up video at the end of my last one, which sorry, never got around to doing. Basically what I was going to tell you though was that it wasn't necessary to completely remove the microwave from the wall in order to do the repair. And so I'm going to see if that philosophy works this time. We're just going to slide it out about maybe 6 inches and then take off the first cover, and I think we can access the switches just by doing that. So here we go. So my unit is just held in with 2 screws held onto the wall, and it's pretty heavy, so the weight of it is basically what holds it in place. By sliding it out about 6 inches, 8 inches or so, and then pushing it to the right as far as it'll go, I can reach in there and unplug the unit. And it's just a safer thing to do. So safety first. And now I'm going to come up here to this top cover and take out the 6 screws that are holding that on so I can access the brackets that hold the door switches. And with these 6 screws out, then this panel just lifts out of the way, and that gives me access to the door switches. So we're looking down from the top left side, and you can see in here the black bracket that we're after. These 2 screws that are holding in the bracket, we take those 2 out, and then we'll have access to the 2 switches. So after taking out those 2 screws, the left side bracket comes out. This is what it looks like. I did, just a note, at first it felt like it wouldn't come out. I realized I had to open the door because the little probe from the door sticks inside here. It engages with this white lever here, and it was preventing the bracket from coming out, but that was obviously a quick thing to take care of. Open the door and this bracket slides right out. Now on the surface, it seems like both of these switches are okay. I'm hearing a click on the green one, and I'm feeling a nice click on the red one, but I'm going to have to check continuity on those. So just like on the first video, I'm testing continuity of the green switch, the upper one. When I move the lever that the door engages with, it opens up the switch, goes to a very high resistance. When I let go of it, it goes down to 0. That switch, when it's not engaged, it's supposed to be a closed switch, so it's reading 0 resistance. When it is engaged, the door is closed, it's open. So that switch, the green one, is working okay. So the green switch is the monitor interlock switch. Now we're going to test the red switch that's on the left side. That is the door sensing interlock, and that one is a control signal that goes to one of the control boards. The 120 AC does not go through that switch as it does with the monitor interlock switch. The door sensing switch just goes to one of the control boards. And so, as I explained in the first video, I disconnected from that control board and hooked up my meter to the connector that connects onto that board. And now I'm going to press the switch with my finger here, and it goes to 0 resistance. If I let go of it, it goes to 1K. I have a 1K resistor just so I can access those leads in the connector. But looks like this switch is okay also. It's behaving properly and it has a nice solid click. We'll move on to the other switch on the other side of the door. So we're looking at the switch bracket on the right side of the door now, and there are just 2 screws that hold that black bracket in. We're going to take those 2 screws out to give us access to the switch. So with this bracket accessible, I was able to remove one of the leads, as I explained in my other video, and I'm now going to test continuity on this one. So I think I found my problem. Although the switch seems to be working, I press this and it goes to 0 resistance, which it should, but when I let go, sometimes it takes as much as 1 second for that switch to release. And like right there, you just saw it. A delay like that means that switch is closed. At the same time, the other door switch is closed, the monitor switch is closed, and that sends 110 straight through the system and blows the breaker. So I need to replace the red switch that's on the right-hand side. Let's see, what do they call that? That is the primary interlock switch. So that's the one I'm gonna order to replace. And I'll probably just replace that bracket too. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get the switch out without breaking the bracket. So I'll order the bracket too. Easy enough and cheap enough. So my local appliance parts store was able to get the 2 parts that I needed, the switch and the bracket that holds the switch, within a day. So, you know, good news there. One thing I noticed, when I take out the old one, take a look here. This looks like it's been burned. These are the leads that go into the switch, and they look like they've taken some heat. So it just shows that the way this is designed, there can be a lot of current going through there, and that's why the breaker blows. It's a good thing we've got those safety features on the circuit. Otherwise, you know, this could have been a fire. Anyway, you can see how clean the new ones are, and so I'm gonna put everything back together and hope that that'll be the fix. The switch just slides into this bracket. There's a post right here and a post right here, and 2 corresponding holes on the switch itself, a couple little tabs, one right here and one here that'll hold it in. And with the switch in position, I'm ready to install it back into the unit. And with the wire leads reconnected, I'm ready to put it back down into the unit. Right down where my finger is where the bracket gets connected. And just a word of caution, make sure you use a magnetic screwdriver or some way, maybe some tape or something, to hang on to those screws when you're putting them back in, because it's a long ways to the bottom of the unit and it might be hard to get the screws out if you drop them. So don't drop them. And we're back in business. I'm going to reinstall this top cover and plug the unit back in, then we'll give it a go. Well, so far so good. The power came on and hasn't blown the breaker yet, so I guess we'll give it a try. Looks like we're back in business. So there's another repair. Hopefully won't need to talk to you guys again, but feel free to ask any questions in the comments. Thanks guys, bye.